The classwork is the review notes, all in the packet. And then the homework is the review assignments, which is here. Let's make this due Tuesday. 2/4/23. Let's make these both due Tuesday, just so that you have a little bit of extra time. I don't think it takes very long, but you know, weekends and things. Okay, so if you guys could put that on your stamp sheet, that'd be great. And then if you could find this. Okay. X1, Y1, X2, Y2, M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay, and that means the top is 1 and the bottom is -4. Okay, now to remind you, you can pick either of the 2 points. Just pick the one that's easier. I'm going to pick this one. So x equals 2, y equals 0. Y equals mx plus b. 0 equals -1/4 times 2 plus b. Is -1/4 times 2. Beautiful. -1/2 plus b. If you're wondering how that happened, we did 2 times 1 is 2, and then 2/4 reduces to 1/2. Plus 1/2 to both sides. 1/2 equals b. Okay, on problems like this, make sure to write the final answer. Y equals -1/4 x plus 1/2. We've been doing that since chapter 2. So you might be wondering why Mrs. Talbot is that on the chapter 8 review notes. It's because the one right next to it, it looks very similar, but it says exponential. So I wanted to have them right next to each other so you could make sure that you see, oh, this one says line, that's the chapter 2 stuff. This one says exponential, that's the chapter 8 one. Okay, so exponential, first thing we do is make a table and we make sure to make a spot for 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is 35 and 4 is 12,005. Okay, how many B's does it take? 3. So 35B cubed equals 12,005. We did a bunch of these the other day. Divide by 35. I think the cube root of 343 is 7. But let's check. Okay, so b equals the cube root of 343. Is it 7? Okay, so if you remember, this is how I do it. I type a 3 because it's a cube root. Then I hit the math button, which is right below the green one. And I scroll down to x root, and it puts the little 3 there for me. Okay, now I need to backtrack it and divide by 7. So a is 5. Do you guys see where I got a from? Right next to the 0 in the table. Okay, so final answer is y equals 5 times 7 to the x. Any questions about number 1 or 2? You guys okay? Okay. Number 3. Find the equation and total value of the investment after the time given. $1,500 at 3% compounded annually for 10 years. Okay, these are investments. Investments always increase for us, which means that I have 100% plus 3% is 103%, which is a multiplier of 1.03. If you can already read that and tell that it's a multiplier of 1.03, you don't have to write this, but I figured because it was notes, we might as well. Okay, so the equation is y equals 1,500 times 1.03 to the x. And then after 10 years, it's y equals 1,500 times 1.03 to the 10. $2,115.87. Again, this is money. You need to round to the penny, so 2 decimal places. So $2,015.87. Okay, any questions about number 3? We've done a bunch of those, I think. That was your digital escape and everything. Okay, this is a little different. We haven't done simple interest in quite a while. It was problems like 21 to 24, the very beginning of the chapter. Simple interest is linear, like y equals mx plus b. So what we need to do is 1,500 times 3%. 1,500 times 3%, and that's going to be our slope because it's saying 3% of 1,500. So 1,500 times 0.03 is 45. That means it's going to go up $45 every year. So y equals 45x plus 1,500. Okay, then I'm gonna find out 10 years, so 45 times 10 plus 1,500. 1,950. Compound interest should always give you more money than simple interest if you're comparing the same investment amount and the same rate. Any questions about number 3 or 4? We good? You sure? What about Enrique? Does Enrique have any questions about 3 or 4? Solid? Okay. I love the name. Does anyone know how to pronounce this name? I'm thinking Abhasra, Abasra, Abasra, and Stephanie are selling pies for a school fundraiser. Customers can buy blueberry pies and lemon meringue pies. Just in case you were wondering, Mrs. Talbot's favorite type of pie is lemon meringue. They sold blueberry pies for $11 each and lemon meringue pies for $12 each and made a total of $3.95 for the fundraiser. Okay, so I'm gonna put 11 for each blueberry and 12. I'm gonna put M for meringue instead of L because the lowercase L looks like a 1 and I get confused. Equals $395. They sold 34 total pies. Does anybody know how to make that into an equation? 34 total pies, Tyler? Beautiful. B plus M equals 34. So that's saying the total blueberry plus meringue equals 34. Okay, find the number of blueberry and the number of lemon meringue pies they sold. I'm going to do elimination method here. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by -11. Do you see why I would choose -11? Okay. And this is not the only way to do this problem. There's lots of ways to do this problem. It's just that's the one I picked. Oh, it was good because that just subtracts to be M. Okay, so M equals, oh my goodness, is this pie is really this expensive? $21 for a pie? It is my favorite pie, I suppose. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna plug it back into the B plus M equals. Okay, so M. We've been doing that topic for a hot minute now. Not as long as number 1. We've been doing problems like number 1 since like October or the end of September. I don't know if you remember your like line design projects. You drew the picture and you found the equations of all the lines. Yeah. That was a minute ago. Okay, number 6. Last one on the page. Simplify. Your answer should only contain positive exponents. Okay. Remember, negative exponents flip fractions. So this is the same thing as 3/5 to the third. So you flip the fraction, make this positive. 3 to the third over 5 to the third equals 27 over 125. Okay, flip when you're ready. Okay, no worries. Ready? Okay. All right, number 7, find the distance, midpoint, and equation between each pair of points. Round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, so we're gonna do distance first. Six, 3. I saw a few people get confused after this point on the quiz. You're supposed to square them and then combine it into one thing. Some people tried like square rooting from here. I don't know. There was all kinds of stuff. 36 plus 9, I believe, is 45. Also, a bunch of you tried to use the midpoint formula on the quiz, even though it was graphed and you could just eyeball the midpoint. I don't know why. And people put like subtraction in the midpoint formula. That's not subtraction. You're thinking of the slope. I don't know why you would do it if it's graphed. It's just eyeball it. I can tell the midpoint is like right there. I think it's right there. Okay, how do I know? I start here. I go over 1.5 and up 3. Oh no, did I not go far enough up? Okay, wait. Over 1.5, up 3, right there. I was slightly off. Okay, question is, what coordinate is that? 2.51, yes. Okay, last thing, equation. So we know the slope is -6/3, which is -2. Also, real quick, don't put negatives in your Pythagorean theorem. It's just not necessary because you're talking about how long a triangle is at this point. You don't care about direction. Just makes it more complicated for you. But for slope, you do need to know that that's going downhill. Okay, now if I backtrack this up here and went up 2/1, that would be at 6, correct? If I went, you guys agree with me that that would be 6? Okay, so b equals 6, y equals -2x plus 6. Oh, you could do the whole thing that we did for number 1, but why? When it's graphed, you can just count. I think counting is easier. Okay. A rubber bouncy ball is dropped from a height of 197.00, that's very specific, centimeters on a hard flat floor. After each bounce, the ball returns to a height that is 18% less than the previous maximum height. What is the maximum height reached after the 6th bounce? Okay, so we're gonna do the whole web here, meaning table graph equation. So first thing I'm gonna do, actually, I'm lying. I'm totally lying. The first thing I'm gonna do is do 100% minus 18%. Do you guys know why I did minus? Yeah, because it says 18% less than the previous maximum height. So that would be 82%. So my multiplier is 0.82. Okay, My equation is y equals 197 times 0.82 to the x. I really wanted to skip right to 8 apparently. Okay, now it's just a bunch of calculators. 197 times 0.82 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 times 0.82. Everybody understand what I did in the calculator there? Okay, so 197, 160. Is that the kind of graph we expect? We didn't even answer the question though. It says, what is the maximum height reached after the sixth bounce? So that would be 59.89 centimeters. Interesting fact, I was eavesdropping on the juniors CASP testing and the performance task was a problem like just like this. I was like, I have a feeling my freshmen could do this problem a lot better than my juniors because we're just doing it right now and they haven't done it for 2 years. And I was like, hopefully it's still in there. Any questions about this guy or number 7? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a minute to get this situated and then we're going to move down to the super fun square root simplifying you love so much. I wonder if anyone in the class is sitting there thinking 147 is prime. It's not. It's not prime. It's divisible by 7. It's 7 and 21. Which is 7 and 3. So I have a pair of 7s. Circle 1, cancel the other. 7 root 3. I should give you a lot of space there. Okay, 45 is 9 times 5. 3 times 3. Pair of 3, circle 3, cancel another. The 4 multiplies with the 3 that comes outside, and the 5 stays in. Any questions about 9 or 10? We've been doing this for a little while now. I'm hoping it's getting better. Okay. Number 11. We're going to have to do all of these separately on their own. 24 is 6 times 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 2. 54 is 9 times 6, which is 3 and 3, and 3 and 2. 45, I already know. I just did that one. 2, 3. Okay, first one. Do you see any pairs? Pair of 2s, right? Circle, cancel. Do you see any more pairs? No. Okay, so the negative was already there. The 2 comes outside. And the 2 and 3 leftovers multiply to make 6. You see any pairs in this 54 one? 3s. Circle, cancel. The negative 3 in the front is going to multiply with the 3 circled, so -9. And then, oh, I see a pattern there. Okay, here, pair of 3s, circle, cancel. 3 comes out and multiplies. Okay. Do you see like terms? Yes, okay. So these two are like terms. You add the front. -2 minus 9 is -11. -11 root 6 minus 6 root 5. Okay, last one of these. First thing we're going to do is multiply the 25 and the 20 because they're both under the square root. So that gives you -2 root 500. You see how the -2's in the front, so that stayed in the front. And also, like, pretend there's a 1 out here. So you like multiply the outsides, multiply the insides. Okay, 500 is 5 times 100. And 100 is 10 times 10. Okay, this is where I'm going to encourage you to get efficient. Don't break those into 5s and 2s. Why should I not break those into 5s and 2s? Yeah, it's already pairs, exactly. So circle 10 is going to multiply with the -2 in the front, so -20 root 5. Anyone want to ask anything about 11 or 12? Okay, flip. Okay, flow chart. Do you see any verticals or reflexives? Reflexive. Okay, now when you put the reflexive in, which triangle congruence is this? Angle, angle, side. Okay, why is it not angle, side, angle? Yeah, so you have two angles and the side across, not two angles and the side between. Okay, but okay, so I'm gonna start here where there's one arc in each angle. So I'm gonna put angle A is congruent to angle C, that's given. Okay, now this middle one should be angle D is congruent to angle D, but we can't say that. So we have to do the three letters. So I'm gonna say angle ADB. And ADB is the same as CDB in the other triangle. It's also given. What should I say for the reflexive side? Yep. Okay. Any questions here? What do triangles add up to? 180. 4x plus 4x plus 140 equals 180. You're going to combine like terms. 8x plus 140 equals 180. Okay, is that the end of this problem? No, it says find the measure of angle A, which happens to be right here. So, yep, 4 times 5 is 20 degrees. All right, we have one more problem. Um, this one is similar polygons. I'm gonna say this is the original and this is the new. The only reason is because this is closer to the problem number, so I figured that was printed first, so it's the original. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, but anyway, so new over original equals new over original. Does that make sense? Okay, now cost multiply. So I'm gonna say 48 times 3x plus 2. Make sure to put that in parentheses. 24 times 40. All right. I would like you guys to look up here for a few minutes, please. This says, this is a scheduled post for Monday at 8 a.m. It says your next test is Thursday, April 25. That's a week from yesterday. For your test, you can use the back side of your pink paper, writing flowcharts for congruent triangles, or a 3x5 note card. It depends on if you like want any of the stuff that's on there already, if you used all the room, like whatever. Your notes must be handwritten and will be collected with your test. Here's the topics. Let's make sure we know what these are. Completing a flow chart to prove that triangles are congruent, fill in the blank, and identifying the rigid transformation between the two triangles, reflection, rotation, and or translation. Do you know how to do that? Okay. Do you know what triangle angle sum theorem is? Okay, if you say you know what it is, what problem number on the review notes has triangle angle sum theorem? 14, perfect. Writing and solving a proportion word problem. This was not on our review notes, but it's like like Callie bought 4 packages of grape tomatoes for $10. How many packages can she buy if she has $5? You do like 4 over 10 equals x over 5 and then cross multiply. It's the same thing as the triangle proportion one. It's just a word problem. I think we had that on the last test, actually. Okay, back to this. Okay, finding the midpoint. Finding the length of a line segment. Do you know what that is? Okay, writing and solving a system of equations from a word problem. That was the pies one from today, where you write the equations about pies or whatever, and then use eliminate. I use elimination method most of the time. Simplifying square roots. Do you know what that is? Okay. Writing the equation of a line through 2 points. Writing the equation of an exponential through 2 points and determining if a point is on the curve of that exponential. If you don't know what determining the point is, you can just look in the table, or that's also on your team test coming up. I'm not worried about it. Simplifying fractions with negative exponents. What problem was that from the review notes? Simplifying fractions with negative exponents. Number 6, yeah. Okay. Completing the multiple representations web for exponential functions. Situation table graph equation. Which one was that? That one was number 8. The word problem with the ball bouncing and the 8%, 18% less each time. Okay, last one. Finding the equation and calculating the value of an investment with compound interest. So that was the, 100% plus 3%, 1.03 to the x, whatever. Okay, that's all your topics. Hopefully those all sound familiar, especially after what we did today. So next week we have the team test on Monday. We have a zombie attack worksheet, which is at the end of your packet, which is about infecting people with zombie virus exponentially on Tuesday, and then Thursday's your test. Okay, I think I'm gonna stamp on Monday because I think I'm gonna run out of time, and I also want to stamp your warm-up. So, do you guys all know what to do this weekend? Okay.